Alright, what's up guys? Today's going to be a pretty simple video today, explaining how to temporarily form up and brace your arch. Alright, so as we zoom in here, you can see my arch form. I've temporarily got it in there, set up. So one of the things I want to note is the height at which my arch form is being terminated here, because it is exactly 3/8 up. So there's a joint from this point to here, so that this next course of brick would be terminated right here. But that's not where it's going to end, but that's the idea behind it. So that's the height that I'm shooting for when I place it right there. Okay? So the next thing to note is my bond marks. So prior to placing this up here, I actually set it down on the floor and dry bonded a bunch of bricks across the top so that I would have equal spacing coming all the way across, because I want everything to be nice and uniform. So I have spacing being marked all the way. Okay, so another thing that's important to note is that my form is not flush with my brickwork. It is just maybe 1/8 to 1/4 in from my brickwork. The reason for this is that as I raise my line up, as I build, at no point will my form interfere with my line. So what are you trying to do when you form this up? Well, it's kind of like a tricky thing here, because this is temporary. All right, so it doesn't need to be some sort of fancy construction. So you're kind of doing this weird dance where you want to build something that is structural and that there's no wobble to it at all. This is nice and friction fit in here, so nothing is moving. So as I build this form won't move, nothing will shift, nothing will change. But at the same time, at some point, this needs to be removed. So you have to have a plan for it to come out. Because one of the most common mistakes people make is they place the form directly on top of my studs here, all right? What will happen is, after I construct this arch, okay, naturally, just like all these bricks here, when the mortar sets up, it will lock everything into place. And we want to be able to remove this. So when you put this 2x4, this one here, tight to the bottom of this form, what you'll find is you won't be able to get this 2x4 out of here. And it creates a huge problem that could, during the removal process, potentially do damage to your finished product. So what you need to do is create some sort of shim. And a shim is basically a tapered piece of wood, okay? So what I have is a shim on each side here that is creating a slight gap right there, so that when my arch is complete, all I need to do is remove these shims, just slide them out, and my arch form, as small of a drop as it may be, will now easily drop out of the arch. And I have, boom, it's there, it's all done. A couple other things that are important to note is that your form should meet to all the standards from which you build. So it should be level and it should be plumb. All right, so you want to make sure you have that in there. And there you go. Like I said, probably the two main it doesn't have to be something that's wonderfully designed or thought out. It's got to serve two purposes. It's got to be structural and not wobble, but yet once your project is finished, you got to be able to easily remove it. And the way that I built this one, it's just 4 screws, 2 shims, and a 2x4, and it's out of there. All right, we'll get to the next one and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done.